Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video to the channel. Welcome to another one of our AFK money making guides where we try and cram in as many AFK methods into a video as possible for you guys to give you ideas to AFK away while you study, work, or want a little bit of downtime on the side. So starting this video off, we're going to go for a bit of a high one, level 100 mining required, because we're going to go and do some primal ore mining. Now this is one which is a real good way to hard AFK because you can use things like the Juju mining potion and the stone spirits to have a full AFK mine. Now the primal ores have come down a bit, so it's not going to be as much GP as what it was before, but it's still going to bring in a decent 2.5 to 3 mil per hour. Now one thing I would say before going to mine, I would heavily check on the price which the ores are currently selling for, because from my experience the ore prices are very up and down. But in terms of what you need for this method, obviously as much of the mining boost as possible, the best pickaxe really. To do primal ores, you want the augmented pickaxe of life and death as well as the best perk, so hone 6, refine 4 is what you really want to aim for. You want to have the magic golem outfit, the quarry master aura, the grace of the elves, because you want to really use your porter. One thing you could also do as well is use your primal ore box if you want to sort of save on the tiny porter. With the kind of speed you're going to be getting the primal ores, the ore box can actually do a decent job. You want your mining cape, bridge for gods, core hammer if you do have it. And in terms of items you're going to have to spend per hour, probably a binding contract for a gargoyle, a perfect juju potion, and also some tiny porter if you want to go that way. Or like I've said before, you can go and use your primal ore box as well. So very good method, and was going to be the method, well, kind of is going to be the method I'm going to get 200 mil mining with. What I've learned is that with my stint of mining, I hop between various methods, and this is pretty solid in terms of a method anyway. So yeah, pretty decent. 2.5 to 3 mil per hour is what you're going to expect. 200k mining XP as well. So if you were looking to get between 100 and 110 mining to finish that off, this is a very solid option. Pure AFK as well. Yes, you will have to buy the primal stone spirits, and definitely focus on what sort of ore you want to do, and don't hold on to that ore for too long. I've seen these primal ores change price quite often. If you wanted to smith your own bars, what I would recommend is buy the ores at a later date, sell the ores as you mine them, just so you can sort of lock in that price you want to buy and sell for as well. But again, anytime there's a mining method with the Juju potions and the stone spirits, it can be fully AFK. 99 strength is something the wikis put in as a requirement. I think that really would help as well. But this kind of method is all I'm after. This is perfect for me when I AFK, if I want some downtime or if I don't want to pay attention to the screen, but yet still make some progress. Yes, 2.5 mil to 3 mil is not the best profit in the world, but this is a full 15-minute don't pay attention AFK, which is something you can progress your account with, get some XP, and make some GP as well. So this is a big one for me in terms of a win. So this next method is one which I think really doesn't get the attention it deserves, because weirdly it doesn't make as much profit as what I think it should make. So the next one we're going to cover is eternal magical logs. Now, in terms of how much this is going to make you per hour, you are looking about 2 mil-ish per hour at current prices. Now, I do think that the eternal magical logs are undervalued, especially like when you look at like how many of them are used for the fletching methods. But it's going to bring in like roughly 2 mil per hour. It is very AFK, quite hard AFK as well, and actually going to bring you 350k XP per hour. So in terms of an XP method, it's probably one of the best ways to train, and the fact it brings you in a little bit of profit is better for it as well. Now, what I do with my magical logs, I sort of keep them in the bank, because I do think that, especially on the lead up to a double XP, you have a chance of them having to spike up because they're such a good item for double XP. And also, I think as a little treasure hunter thing, I think this could be something which really helps these kind of methods. So the eternal magical stuff, in terms of the fact that the logs service rune crafting and fletching, they don't really show the price. Like eternal magical log is like 2.5k. An elder log is 10k, so there's a big difference, and I like to think that the eternal magical log has more uses and more impact in terms of skilling. So yeah, this is more of an AFK training method which provides some GP, rather than a GP AFK method which gives you a little bit of XP. So it's the other way around, but it's still a very solid way, and I think over the next couple of months we'll see this get a little bit better. But obviously for this kind of woodcutting, you want your best hatchet, you want your woodcutting outfit, you want everything you can to get the most logs per hour. But just thought I'd fit this into one of these videos because I do think that it's a very good method both to train and the fact it gives you a little bit of cash on the side. really is nice. I do think these AFK methods, apart from 1 or 2, have dropped in the price you can make per hour. So yeah, 2 mil per hour is definitely on the lower end of the AFK money making methods, which will do, and there'll be a lot of lower level methods which will outperform it. But in terms of the XP this method is going to offer you, and a little bit of cash as well, I thought it was worth throwing in to anyone looking to train their woodcutting. Again, like I mentioned before, elder logs are a definite better option if you're after cash. Even if you're past level 100, if you're looking for just pure cash, elder logs are definitely a better way to go. But if you're looking for that combination of XP and also a little bit of GP on side, eternal magical logs are very, very good. So the final method on the video is something which was one of the best methods a couple of months to a year ago, but slightly dipped off a little bit, but does seem to be climbing back up in GP per hour, and that is elder rune smithing. Now, Primal, again, very similar to like the eternal magical stuff and also the star bloom stuff, doesn't really appear in many of the money making guides, so it's definitely something I'm going to delve into in a few videos in a little while, just to see how good it is in terms of GP making and whether it's something to dive into and use as a money making method. However, elder rune bars are going to pull in 6 mil per hour, and again, very, very easy as well. So with that 6 mil per hour, not only is it that, but it is also very, very AFK. Now, what you're going to need for it to be AFK is the goldsmith gauntlets. With the goldsmith gauntlets, you have the ability to smelt straight into the furnace, which is why you can smelt 60 instead of the 28 in your invo. If you don't have the gauntlets, you will fill your invo and can only do 28, whereas with, at least with the gauntlets, you can do 60 in there as well. Now, the higher your smithing level, the more bars you're going to make. I think at 94, that's when you're at optimal level to then make this. But 6 mil per hour for something which you can have quite easily a minute and a half AFK to not pay attention to is really, really good profit. And elder rune is starting to tick back up. Same with the Necronium, same with Bainite, but elder rune is by far the best one in the minute in terms of the AFK-ness and the GP it's going to make as well. So yes, you will need like a slightly high smithing level to be able to do it, but it is one of those where you can pay very little attention while you go and make these bars. The gauntlets are a must because you basically make double and you don't have to go back and forward. You don't have to go through the interaction. As soon as you finish this interaction of 60, you click on the furnace, click the space bar, and then you go in again. But that is going to wrap up this video. So we've got 3 very different money making methods, all of which have different levels of AFK-ness to them. Primal, you are fully AFK for the full 15 minutes. Eternal magical logs, I'd probably say you get a good 5 minutes for the log health. Obviously, if there's more people on the world, that will then sort of deplete the resources quicker. But if you're on a very quiet world and you can get a tree to yourself, you'll have a good 5 minutes. And then the elder rune smithing, doing the bars, you're going to be roughly like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. But you will make more GP from it as well. All 3 methods do have their positives and their negatives. Again, the woodcutting method does have the sheer amount of XP, but less GP. Mining is sort of mid in terms of a GP, but it's fully AFK. And then the elder rune bars, yes, you're a little bit more active, but you're going to be making quite a bit more cash on top of that as well. However, that is going to be another AFK video down. Again, I'm going to try and sort of like space these out just so you guys have plenty of content to watch. Loads more money making stuff coming to the channel, loads of content in terms of series as well. 7-day bond will return. I'm hoping at this point, escaping free to play would have returned as well for that series. All of that would be in the description. I tag a load of videos of my most recent and probably better releases as well. So if you're interested in more stuff on my channel, make sure to check that out and also hit that subscription button as well. It really, really does help me out. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know anything extra you want me to do in terms of guides, videos, anything you want. Drop them in the comment section. I'll give them a read and I'll reply to them as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys very soon in the next video.